Now after creating IAM users, we are going to create the NAT gateways in AWS. Click here. First read the lab overview. Cloud network engineer, cloud administrator, security, compute and networking. This lab guides you through the process of setting up a NAT gateway to enable internet access for instances in a private subnet within Amazon Web Service. The lab aims to familiarize users with network address translation and provides a step-by-step demonstration of configuring the required resources to establish internet connectivity for instances in a private subnet. The duration will be 1 hour and 30 minutes. The region will be US East Virginia, US East 1. Now what is NAT gateways? NAT stands for Network Address Translation. A NAT gateway is a device used to enable instances in a private subnet to connect to the internet or other AWS services basically. It prevents the internet from initiating connections with the instances present in the private subnet. It forwards traffic from the instance in the private subnet to the internet or other AWS service, and then send the response back to the instance. Change the instance IP address with the NAT device address when the traffic goes to the internet. We have two kind of NAT gateways, NAT devices basically, NAT instance and NAT gateway. NAT instance uses Amazon Linux AMI. NAT instance limit depends on your instance type limit for the region. NAT instance does not support IPv6 traffic. NAT gateway usage is charged to the customer on an hourly basis. NAT gateway does not support IPv6 traffic. AWS recommends the usage of NAT gateway since they provide better availability and bandwidth over NAT instances. Now let's see the architecture diagram. Our user SSH into public EC2, then SSH into private EC2 and update the package. Log into AWS console. Our user created two things. One is NAT gateway and the one is AWS management console. Access two things. So then AWS created and configure the AWS, maybe AWS cloud. Then there is a internet gateway between the private subnet. I don't know how can I explain this. That's our tables for public root table, in which we have two IPs. The destination one, the destinations 00 means anyone can access that server, that EC2 instance from anywhere, and this one is the local IP. Same for private subnet. Router have access to this default NACL. Public subnet elastic IP, Amazon EC2 linked with group elastic IP addresses linked with VPC NAT gateway, access to internet. Then private subnet EC2 security groups linked to this one. Okay, now task detail will be sign in to management console, create a VPC, create public and private subnets, create an internet gateway, create public root table and configure, launch an EC2 instance in public subnet, launch an EC2 instance in private subnet. Okay, we have to launch two instances, first one in public subnet, another one in private subnet. Then SSH into public and private EC2 instance and test internet connectivity, create a NAT gateway, update root table and configure NAT gateway, test internet connection from instance inside private subnet, validation of the lab. Okay, launching the environment. To launch the environment, click start lab button. Please wait until the cloud environment provisioned. It will take less than a minute to provision. Once lab is started, you will be provisioned with the IAM user password, access key and secret key. Okay, let's start with the lab. These are the steps. First we have to sign into the console. Then we have okay, don't have to change the ID. Copy and paste the password here. The state will be Virginia. We have to create a VPC. Okay, we will see these steps. Just wait for a minute. Now after logging in, we have to create a VPC. Make sure the state will be Virginia. Navigate to VPC, and the VPC, create a VPC. Then name it my VPC. We are going to create a virtual private network here. Basically, just open VPC. Okay, look at here. That's the default VPC settings. If we create a VPC and more, so in that type of selection or option, our VPC will automatically create 4 subnets with parallel availability zones, and then connect the route tables and connections as well as. So we will go with VPC only. Name it as my VPC. IPv4 is this one. Tenancy will be default. No IPv6. None encryption. Is there any kind of tags? No kind of tags. So just create VPC. Block size must be in between. What's the issue? Why the heck am I facing the issue here? Okay, if we copy paste the IP address, then VPC will throw an error to us. That's our VPC. That's our resource map. Now till now we didn't create any subnets here. Only one route table is created and no network connection. Previously when I clicked on VPC and more, you see after my VPC name I have 4 subnets, 3 route tables and 2 network connections stable already. Okay, that's my CIDR IP. That's the flow log. I don't have any flow till now. Okay, just move towards the step 3. which is create public and private subnets. In this task, we are going to create both public and private subnets. Within the VPC, public subnet have internet access, while private subnet do not have direct internet access. Navigate to subnets in the left panel of the VPC page. Let's create a public subnet. Click on create subnets button. Then VPC ID will be my ID. Okay. We will click on subnets. Then in subnets, we will click on my subnet. The ID will be my VPC. The SCID range will be this one. So after that, subnet name will be this one. Now I don't have any preferences for availability zones, and that's the availability zone: 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F, which means in the region of Virginia we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 availability zones. So remember, as we done earlier, I am receiving 4 subnets in 4 different availability zones. So no preferences, CIDR range will be till 24, then create on subnet. So click on create subnet button. Creating subnet. My subnet is created now. Then after that, select action on added subnet, assign auto assign IP, check. Okay. Then action. What? Add a subnet setting. Check or assign IP, then saved. So my changes have been saved till now. Now the instance logs inside the public will be. Now the instances launched inside the public subnet will have public IPs assigned to them by default. Let's create a private subnet. Click on create subnet again. Okay, that will be my private subnet, no preferences. This will be my IP 10.0.1.0 and 24 will be the range. Create subnet. Okay, now I don't have to do anything else. That will be my IP. Now private subnet. Now this is the second step which I have to do. Now we successfully created 2 subnets. Now create an internet gateway. In this task, we are going to create an internet gateway which acts as a bridge between the VPC and the internet, allowing instances in the VPC to communicate with the internet. Navigate to internet gateway in the left panel of the VPC page, then click on internet gateway button. Then name tag will be my internet gateway. So after creating the internet gateway, we have to attach the VPCs to this gateway here. To attach actions, attach to VPC, then my VPC, then attach internet gateway. Okay. Now in actions, attach to VPC, The VPC will be my VPC, the attached NAT gateway. Okay, now till now we created a VPC, which is this one. We created two subnets, one is private, another one is public. We attached the public IP to the public subnet, and we didn't do anything with the private subnet. We only created the private subnet, and we attached those with the VPC ID, this one. Then I created the internet gateway, which acts like a bridge between both, and I attached that internet gateway with this VPC ID. Okay, after that we have to create the route table and configuration. In this task we are going to create a public route table and configure it to associate with the public subnet. The public route table defines how traffic is routed between the VPC and the internet. Navigate to route table in the left panel of the VPC page, then click on create route table button. Name tag entry will be this one. Select my VPC, click on create route table, will be created. Now attached and internet gateway, select this one. Okay, let's wait. Just first complete those steps. This will be my VPC. Now I have created the route table here. Click on actions. Will be created to attach internet gateway. Select public route table. Okay, then click on edit routes. Edits. Now propagation. We just have to edit routes here. Now in the route, this one will be my destination. In target, select internet gateway, and once the internet gateway have been created, internet gateway, look at here, this is my internet gateway ID. Okay, now save changes. Updating route for this one to public route table. Okay, to associate the public subnet to the route table, select public route table, then click on subnet association tab. Okay, select public route table, then subnet association, edit association tab. Now after that I just have to select my public subnet. I've checked my public subnet from here. Then once all these settings are configurations are complete, it looks like below. So these two are my routes. This is my association. So after that Now launch my subnet will access to the internet. As you can see, there is another existing route table already available for MVP. For my MVP is a main route table created at the time of the VPC was created. We will use it while creating the NAT gateway. Okay, so these are the changes which I have done. Now what we have to do here is we have to launch the EC2 instance in the public subnet. Okay, so search for EC2, then go towards dashboard. And basically EC2 is the server, is the machine. Consider it as an actual machine, like your actual PC or your actual laptop, and on that server your whole application will be launched. In this task we are going to launch an EC2 instance in the public subnet. This allows users to have publicly accessible instances that can directly communicate with the internet. The state will be Virginia. Then we have to navigate to the services, or we can directly search EC2. Then in the compute section, okay, if you go towards the services tab, then EC2 will be in compute section. Then instances, launch instance, the name will be my public server, the machine will be AMI. So T2 micro we are going to use. We have to create the key pairs. Key pairs will be my key pair RSA, the PAM. Then create key pair button. Okay, let's do this step by step. First go here, create a launch tab. The name will be my public server. Machine is AWS Linux. T2 micro. The key pair will be my key. I can use this key to connect with this server with my CMD. Then after creating the key pair, in VPC we have to select my VPC. Subnets will be my public subnet. Okay, this one is enabled. Now we are just providing the basic details here. To add SSH, choose the type SSH and then click on anywhere. Okay, there's the anywhere. The type is SSH and the source type is anywhere. Like as I told earlier, 0.0.0.0 means anyone can access this server from anywhere. Keep the rest in default and click on launch instance button. Then view all instances to view the instance you created. Launch status, your instance is now launched. Select the instance and wait for it to change the status to running. Okay, now just launch this instance. Till now we will see the next step. Okay, now we have to perform the same set changes. Perform another instance creation step for my private subnet. In that one, okay, in instances This is my launch instance. Now create another instance, which is this one, my private server. And in my private server, I'm jumping directly towards network setting. Before network, I have to create a key pair as well. So here my key pair. Okay, we will use the same key pair which we created earlier. VPC will be my VPC, subnet will be my private subnet, auto sign IP will be disabled, and then select existing security group. Then keep resting default and click the launch instance. Click on launch instance button. Select view all instances to view instance you created. Launch status, your instance is now launch success. Select the instance and wait for it to change the status to running. Note the private IP address of my private server will be this one, this type of example. Okay. Okay, so after that, SSH into public and private EC2 instance and test internet connectivity. In this task, we are going we have 11 tasks in this example. So till now we are at step 8, task 8 basically. We are going to establish SSH connection to both public and private EC2 instances by testing internet connectivity from both instances. SSH into my public server instance. Follow the below steps. Once the instance is created, select the instance, my public server. Click on connect. Now select the EC2 instance. Instance connect option. You can see there are 4 options to connecting EC2. You can use any of the given options to get in the console, but for our lab we are using EC2 instance connect. Okay, so in this lab basically in connect we have 4 options: direct connect, session manager, SSH client, or serial mode. We are directly connecting with this one. My CMD or my console, basically my machine will be run inside the AWS console. Now let's wait for the connection will be established. Connection established. Now go towards here again and your tab will be here. Switch to root user. Okay, to switch to root user, if you have any kind of background with the Linux operating system or Ubuntu or anything else, to switch our user towards root accesses, we use sudo su. Basically we use sudo if our user don't have root privileges. Once the user access the root privileges, then we will perform all the activities without doing any kind of changes or any kind of sudo here. Okay, now type manually yum command is not found. Since the internet gateway my AWS is connected to the public subnet will be completed successfully. We have VM. Now let's wait for a moment. As you see here, when I execute the command yum-y, -y means like I'm by default allowing yum to update. If I remove that -y and just execute yum update, he will ask the basically console will ask, do I have to allow or not, yes or no. So keep that in mind. We use -y as a shortcut. If we introduce -y in the command or -n in the command, it will by default execute it as yes or no. So let's assist into private from public. Since the internet gateway my AWS is connected to public address, updates will be completed successfully. Yeah, updates will completed successfully. Let SSH into private EC2 server from public EC2 server. Okay, in order to SSH into private EC2 server, first we need to create an PEM file in the public EC2. My public EC2 server, and copy the data from our my PEM key into the local machine. Remember, we created a key which is my key.pem. So we will access these machines through these keys. To copy the content of my PEM key, open the file in a text editor and copy the whole content. To create the my PEM key in public EC2 server, run this one. So now let's execute vi my key.pem. So vi is the editor in vi is the editor. Like if you have any kind of file and you want to edit that file, you can use the vi command to edit that file. What I have to do is then this one, now press the following insert data. You can insert the, look at here, now we have insert access here. Okay, what we have to do is let's SSH into my private EC2 server from my public EC2 server. That's my PEM key which we've created earlier. Now I will paste this one. Now this is my RSA key. After that, to save we have to click escape. Then we have WQ means write and quit. So I've routed that RSA key script into my PEM key, and after that I save the changes, write in it, and escape from it. Like from I quit from the I save the changes in my PEM key in my key.pem file and then exited from here. Okay, now after that check that the file was created correctly or not. We use ls to list all the files in that specific directory or row. Now update permission for the PEM key. Okay, chmod for what we have to do here is update permissions for the PEM key is the private address here. chmod is the change mode command, and in which okay I've assigned, look at here, I've assigned chmod change mode command, and I've wrote a number 400, which means read, write and execute. I only assign the read permissions, no write permissions, no execute permissions. Okay, I just update the changes here. So after that use the private IP address of SSH. Okay, then copy this command, paste in plain text, bash private no such file or directory. Move in instances, then click on this one. So private IP address, this is my private IP address. Now let's see what's the issue here. In case if this message shows are you want to continue or not, click yes. By the way, it shows me the error. Why? It says SSH EC2 this one dash I my PEM key. The authenticity of the host, this one can't be established. Key fingerprint is SH256. This key is not known by any other name. Okay. Yes. So my list known as host. Now my public and private instances are connected. After that I provide this key the read access, so now my key will read my private server as well. Switch to root user. I'm already in root user. Run the update. Okay. Sudo su. I'm in root. Now yum -y update. Now just wait for a few minutes. So as you see, I've executed this command, but I don't have access of internet to my basically there is no internet provision to my private EC2 server. That's why I'm not able to get any kind of commands update here. Okay, just cancel it and then move towards create NAT gateway. In this task we are going to create a NAT gateway which provide internet access to instances in the private subnet. The NAT gateway acts as a middleman to forward traffic between the private subnet and the internet. Okay, then navigate to the NAT gateway page. Hit NAT gateway. Public, automatic. Note that NAT gateway is always created in a public subnet. NAT gateway will be created in few minutes. Once created, the status will be changed to available. Now look at here, the status is pending till now. Wait until the status changes to available state. And then update route table and configuration NAT gateway. Configure NAT gateway. In the task we are going to update the route table associated with the private subnet to include NAT gateway as the target for internet bound traffic. This ensures that the traffic from the private subnet is directed towards the NAT gateway for internet access. So let's wait till the status updated from pending to available. It will take few minutes. root tables. Till now only one is available. Look at it, that's the NAT gateway which I've created till now, but the availability is no, because still it's in pending state. When the state will be changed from pending to public, then I can able to see it's as an available state here. Okay, so to attach NAT gateway, select the main root table which is different from the one you created. Just wait for a few minutes. Now the status is available. Move towards root gateway. So now what I did here, I provided the internet access to my private subnet through this NAT gateway. Now launch the instance with the private subnet and access the internet through the NAT gateway. So issue the root user, then SSH to private user. Now that's my basically yes, I am in my private subnet till now. Just execute this command again. As you see here, now I am able to update the changes or update the yum package, but before that I am not even able to receive any kind of data here. Okay, nothing to do, complete. So this shows that my private EC2 server has internet access. Use exit command to close the private server connection, then click on validation. Okay, as you see, I have to exit 4 times. Why? Because I provided root access to my both users, my public server and my private server. That's why I have to exit from both. Now click on validation. After completion, you have successfully created a new VPC from scratch and created both public and private subnets. You have created an internet gateway and configured a new root table. You have launched one EC2 instance each of the public and private subnets and tested internet connections. across them. Provide internet access to EC2 instance in the private subnet. You created a NAT gateway and configured a route table. You configured that the instance in the private subnet is able to connect to the internet. Now sign out of AWS. You have successfully completed the lab. So click on validation. Enter your public subnet ID here. My subnets. Now just wait for a few minutes till my lab will be validated. Okay, as you see here, we have successfully created the Amazon custom VPC. Then we successfully created the public subnet. That's my subnet ID. Then I've created the private subnet. That's my private subnet ID. Then create an Amazon subnet custom VPC internet gateway. Then created the created the public route table. Launch an EC2 instance on public and private both. Then created a AWS NAT gateway for my private instance, private server, basically private EC2 instance. Then I've added the NAT gateway into my route table. Okay, that's my lab till now. Just sign out from here, then go towards here, end this lab, end it. I've successfully completed this lab. Okay, till now we know how to manage IAM groups, roles and policies, how to create public private subnets, how to create custom VPC, how to create NAT gateways, how to create EC2 instances. Okay, that's all till now.